2 years ago, he was living off garbage, then became a drug addict, nearly dying more than once. Everyone had given up on him. Even he had given up on himself. Then by chance, a stray cat named Bob came into his life. To take care of Bob, James changed completely. He sold magazines by day and played music on the street at night. Because of adorable Bob, he always had more people stopping than anyone else. Life finally got better. James later got clean, wrote a book about his and Bob's journey, and gained a huge following. After a book party, James saw 3 enforcement officers pinning a street musician to the ground. He immediately called the police, got the guy freed, bought him a burger, and said he wanted to talk. The musician thought James was going to give some preaching life lessons and got up to leave. But James didn't lecture him. He just told a story. A year ago, James was still a homeless person. Even with Bob, business was bad. He couldn't pay the electric bill, so he had to heat a metal rack over a candle instead of using a rice cooker. One day, while James was performing, 2 animal control officers walked up. The bald one tried to roughly examine Bob, but Bob fought back. The guy, embarrassed and looking to save face, started giving James a hard time. He demanded James file a written report detailing all his income and Bob's expenses, really just looking for an excuse to take Bob away. James argued back, and the whole thing was caught on video and posted online. Back home, James tried to write the report, but having barely finished elementary school, he had no idea how. It wasn't until the next afternoon that James remembered. He was supposed to perform for a tourist group. He grabbed Bob and rushed out, but in his hurry, he left the space heater on. By the time he got to the site, the tourists were already leaving. He went home frustrated, only to find the heater had used up all his electricity. The food in his fridge had spoiled. He threw it out and went to buy some food. When he got back, he saw a hungry Bob eating the spoiled food. He quickly shooed him away. The next morning, James tried to get Bob to come perform, but Bob just laid on the couch. Thinking Bob was just cold, James left without him. That night, he found Bob still sluggish and vomiting everywhere. James finally realized Bob was sick. He called the vet, but it was Christmas Eve. No one picked up. James was torn up inside over Bob being sick. The next day, he was awakened by a loud noise and looked up to see Bob full of energy. He took Bob to the shelter and learned Bob had just had a bad stomach but was fine now. James was relieved, but began doubting himself. Maybe he couldn't care for Bob. Maybe animal control should take him. He didn't know that his clashes with animal control had gone viral. More and more people learned about James and Bob, and were moved. A wave of support swept online. On Christmas, as James headed out with Bob to perform, he saw someone had painted a mural of Bob near his home. On the street, Bob got gifts from fans, even a small bed. More fans came with presents and cards full of good wishes. James was deeply touched. Then animal control showed up with a cat carrier. The crowd glared, ready to protect James and Bob. The officer showed James a folder. "Our inbox is flooded with emails pleading for you. All because of you and Bob," she said. Thanks to the support of these individuals, the protection agency finally realized that while Bob might not be able to live in a warm house or enjoy delicious food, his current life was what he had been looking forward to. The protection agency decided to return Bob to James and also hired them as special ambassadors for an animal charity to help more people. Later, James wrote his story into a book. It warmed countless hearts and finally gave him a better life.